People have been asking me what causes intestinal bloating. It does seem to be a common problem that people have. Many people complain of feeling bloated after eating or more bloated as the day goes on, where their intestines just fill up with air. And sometimes people pass gas and other times they don't. They just have this distension. It's really uncomfortable. Well, there's a lot of causes, potentially. So most of them are dietary. Sometimes if you overconsume carbohydrates, that is going to be a substrate for bacteria and yeast in your intestinal tract to feed off of, and they will produce gas as a byproduct of their metabolism. So sometimes cutting down grain-based carbohydrates and sugar and carbohydrates in general can reduce bloating. So leaning toward a paleo diet where you're focusing primarily on protein and vegetables and healthy fats is a good strategy, at least to try on for size. Sometimes people will have bloating because they're eating foods that they're allergic to. They may have a degree of lactose intolerance as well. So you can have an allergy to dairy products, an allergy to gluten or something else, or you can just have a difficult time digesting the disaccharides in dairy products or some other foods. And then again, you have undigested sugars that can be a substrate for bacteria and yeast to feed off of, and they will produce gas as a byproduct of their metabolism. So the other causes, again, can be dietary, but it's more what's added to the food. So a lot of people don't realize that they're consuming a lot of sugar alcohols. So now people are kind of going for lower glycemic index type of things, and that might have xylitol or erythritol. Might be sweetened with monk fruit and erythritol. And some people are exquisitely sensitive to these artificial sweeteners. And they will have a lot of painful gas and bloating as a result of ingesting those. So sometimes these ingredients are hidden in protein powders and protein bars and different things that are kind of billed as keto-friendly foods. So I would watch out for that. And then it is important also to kind of look at food combining occasionally. So sometimes people can handle eating carbohydrates, but if they try to mix carbohydrates together with protein and vegetables and fats, that's a little bit much for their digestion to handle. And they need to practice proper food combining. Not everyone has to do this, but some people do. So the rules of food combining are that they do better if they mix protein with vegetables or carbohydrates with vegetables, and fats can go with either. And it's better to eat fruit by itself away from other foods, because fruit is ideally digested in the small intestine, whereas proteins, for example, are digested primarily in the stomach. And if you put fruit on top of protein, it's just basically going to sit in the stomach and almost ferment while your stomach is attempting to digest the protein. So it can really throw off your digestion if you're mixing foods together. And some people are exquisitely sensitive to that and other people aren't. So if you kind of like systematically, look at all of these things, you can usually figure out the reason why you're having bloating and eliminate it. Because it's an uncomfortable thing, and sometimes people just think it's normal, but it's really not. So ideally, you should feel great after eating, and you should not have these intestinal ramifications.